He made over $800,000 in his mom's basement, just literally just flipping paper. When I discovered wholesaling, I was like, you know what? Perfect. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to go prove that this is wrong or this is fake or whatever. So when I came here, I didn't know, when I say I didn't know nothing, I didn't know nothing. Like the word real estate was even new to me.
Wow.
Like the word itself, like real estate investing, I didn't know at all. One thing clicked through the whole podcast that I listened to is you drive around your neighborhood, you find ugly houses, you call them and you ask them if they're interested in selling. That's called driving for dollars. So I can literally right now, you drop me off anywhere in the US. Anywhere in the US you drop me off right now, I can go in a neighborhood, in a decent neighborhood where there's like a lot of single families and stuff, where people like do like fix and like people renovate properties. I can drive around and find. I'm sure you or your audience, people always drive by vacant houses. Yeah. And I'll tell you guys how I got my first deal. Is a crazy story. That was a $68,000 deal.
Wow.
Yeah, and I used to make 32,000 euros a year at my 9 to 5 as a commercial.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. As a commercial agent, right? So what I understood is you drive around, you find ugly houses. There is an application. It's almost like a GPS. This is the beauty about the US, and people take this for granted. It's crazy to me. So I have this application. If I drive around and I pull up in front of your house, and the house, let's say the house is vacant, or even if it's not vacant, it doesn't matter. That application, I used to use it, is called Deal Machine. Literally, you can pull it up on your app right now. It's like $50 a month. It's literally a GPS. I can drive in front of your house. If I see a house that is vacant, I can pull up, click on the house on that GPS. It's going to give me all your information.
What?
In one click. I'm going to know who's the owner. It's going to give me your full name. It's going to give me when you bought the property. Yeah. It's going to give me the potential mortgage you owe on the property. It's going to tell me there's applications nowadays. When I first started, it wasn't there. But there's applications nowadays that can literally even give you if the person is behind on their bills. It can tell you if the person is behind on their mortgage. You can it's crazy. That's how easy it is. Okay? Wow. This is called driving for dollars. So you're literally driving and you're looking for deals. You're looking for vacant houses. Nobody's taking care of it. It's pretty obvious. We all drove in front of those houses. But usually we don't look at them because we think they're trash.
Yeah.
But those are gold.
Those are gold. Yeah. Oh
gold. Goodness. That's the easiest way to start wholesaling. That's what I understood. I come here. So I decided, you know what? When I came here, I decided the easiest way for me to do that is not to take a job, is to do Uber and Lyft, because I'll be in the car all day. And every time I will drop off somebody, I'll just drive in the neighborhood and find ugly houses. And then call them.
Oh my God.
Right?
Great.
So here's what I had to learn. I just had to learn how to talk to people on the phone. I've never talked to people before on the phone. That wasn't part of my commercial job in Belgium. People come to me to buy high-speed train tickets products. I don't go to them, even though I talk to people, but it's not a sales job. Being on the phone was new to me. Right? So I just had to learn how to overcome the cold calling part, which most people are fearful of.
Yeah, that is.
But guess what? I wish I knew, because 8 months in, I found out that if I wanted to, actually, I didn't have to do it. I can hire a virtual assistant from the Philippines to cold call for me. And once a person raised their hand and say, yes, I'm interested in selling my house, then I just follow up. But I didn't know that at the time.
Let me stop you there. So this is a quick question. How do you get a virtual assistant?
That's a different concept. I can tell you guys that at the end, but we use a company called CallStar. So we hire through that company. It's a third-party company, literally. You just, whatever you want, cold caller, texter, admin, website builder, whatever, is just CallStar, right? That's who we use. So mostly they're in the Philippines. But they will do the cold calling for you, text for you, and then they'll just hand over the lead if somebody is interested in selling. So you don't, because think about it this way. For me, what I was doing, I was driving Uber and Lyft, right? So I would take a customer, drop them off in the neighborhood, then I shut off my app, and then I drive around and look for houses. Then I upload it in that application that I told you. Once I have like 30, 50 houses, then I find the numbers, then I start calling them through my Google Voice number. So what I would do is I would literally call them, like I had my computer on the passenger seat, and I would go to like BWI Airport. So I live in Baltimore County. So I would go to BWI Airport and be on the line. If you're driving Uber and Lyft there, you have to wait for your turn to take a. Right. Okay. That gives me enough time to call people. So I was calling from my car. But guess what? If I had a virtual assistant, which I'm sure a lot of your audience, even you maybe drink tea or coffee.
Oh, yeah.
It costs less than that, literally.
For a virtual assistant?
To have it, yeah.
That was my follow-up question.
Yeah, it literally costs less than that, I'm telling you. So by the time that I was driving, if I knew that virtual assistant would be calling all that time, I didn't know.
Wow.
So I would only call when I'm on a break or when I'm on the line at BWI Airport. And that's how I got my first deal, actually.
That makes a lot
So that's how you get a virtual. So a lot of people are fearful cold calling, but the reality is this, though. I don't care how shy you are. Like, if cold calling is not a money-making activity, you shouldn't be doing it if you have some phone skills or people skills in terms of talking on the phone. But the follow-up and locking up the contracts, you're going to have to talk to people on the phone. That's what you're going to have to come out of that. And if people could just understand that here in the U.S., that's the thing is like, so you're just telling me if I have a phone and I'm comfortable talking to people and I can talk to 30, 40 people a day, I can make a minimum of $20,000 a month sitting from my couch. And then I find all the excuses not to do that.
I know.
It's like, it baffles me.
It baffles me.
Right. So, but that's the name of the game. Is nothing else. You just be on the phones.
Yeah.
You texting, calling. There's some people that do what is called direct mail. So they send a lot of mail. That's very expensive. And there's some people that do what is called inbound leads. So they pay like Google ads, Facebook ads. That's super expensive too. The reality is when I started, I just quit my job. I don't have no money. Even the application that I was using to drive around, what I would do is I would use the 7-day trials from app to app. And on the 6th day, I will cut it. Because I don't have the money to pay for it.
And you got your lead.
That's how I got my first deal, $68,000.
Oh my God.
And I'll get into that story, but like,
Wow.
I didn't pay the application because I cut it on the 6th day.
Yeah.
Secondly, I used a free website to find the person because I couldn't find him through the app, meaning the number.
Okay.
So I use it's a website called truepeoplesearch.com. Punch in the address, gave me the numbers. But I'm going to get into that story. But the bottom line is the way you find deals is really easy. Is either you call people or you text people. That's the cheapest route as far as marketing goes. Because a lot of people that start, they don't have the money. That's the reason why they want to start with wholesaling. They want to build some capital, right? The second option is you do everything else. Direct mail, those are the expensive ones. You do bandit signs. That's like putting out on the you've seen those, right? We buy houses cash.
I always thought it was a scam though, but now it makes sense.
There you go. So it's funny when I came here and I said I'm gonna do wholesaling real estate. My older brothers, they told me the same thing. Because me, like I grew up in Europe in a refugee camp, right, in Belgium. So I grew up away from my family, right? So, but my family, they've been here in the U.S. forever. Like my older brothers, right? So they've been seeing these signs for sale. Yeah. We buy houses cash all over.
We all think it's a scam.
My brother not only thought my brother didn't think it was a scam. What he thought is these are like multi-millionaires that have a lot of cash and they can buy houses cash. That's what he thought.
That's not what I thought. I thought
right?
It was a scam.
Okay. This is literally wholesalers putting out those bandit signs. I've done it. I used to put out bandit signs from.
Work?
Yeah, they work. They actually work. People will actually call you to sell you their home.
What?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes. I have a friend who made, I think his first check was $100,000 from one bandit sign.
Stop.
No, I'm not kidding you. You're desperate enough to sell, you would call that bandit sign. People that call those signs, they have a house to sell, they're motivated, either they're in pre-foreclosure, some of them have the property just vacant, sitting there, just want to get out of it. So when they call you, they're ready to go. The problem is when you first start and you're trying to build your capital, you don't have the money to spend on, because the bandit signs, when you put them out every single night, so I used to do that with a friend of mine when I first started, then I switched. I was like, no, it's cheaper for me to be on the phones. But like, we'll put bandit signs from 11 p.m. around Baltimore County up to like 3, 4 a.m. We're putting bandit signs out, right? But here's the challenge. Remember, the city, especially in certain counties, there's people that, those cleaners or whatever, they're driving around, they will take off your signs and throw it. So you have to put it and you need to know what days they come and take it off. So you go the day before, you recoup your vendor signs, and you go back, and it's like otherwise you're gonna have to keep buying and putting. So is the type of marketing, if you start, you cannot stop, and you need to put down like it works. It's not that it doesn't work. It just takes a lot of consistency. So for me, I'm like, listen, I can call all day long. I don't have money to buy vendor signs every single day.
Yeah.
And the direct mail, it was when I was doing it personally, it was $1 per letter that you send. I don't have that money. But getting in a car, driving, looking at houses, and calling from a Google Voice number for free, that I can do that all day long. It doesn't cost me anything. So personally, that was my route. But there's, the bottom line was where I was heading with that is I don't care what you do, what type of marketing, whether you're texting, you have a virtual assistant cold calling, or you send in direct mail or those things. At some point, you will have to talk to people on the phone. Because I see a lot of people stuck. They're like, well, I hate talking to people. I'm shy. Well, if
it is what it is. If you know it's real.
You cannot be broke and be shy. But my brothers, I remember when I told them I was going to do this when I came, they were like, okay, so you found something on YouTube, and you're going to quit your job for a video you found on YouTube, and we've seen these signs all of our lives, and you're telling me that this thing is blah, blah.
When you're in America, you don't really you almost go blind to all the opportunities.
Exactly.
And so take it for granted.
Yeah. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to go prove the concept.
Yeah.
Because once you get that first check as a proof of concept, there is nothing. So
argue.
I stopped worrying about them believing in it or not. Now, I don't want to make it seem like you drive tomorrow and you're going to get a check. That's not how it works. It's a numbers game. So wholesaling real estate has nothing to do with sales. It's a pure marketing game. On average, in wholesaling, in the US, if you get 50 leads, you get a contract guarantee. Just a numbers game.
Yeah.
So if you go, oh man, it's been 3 months, I don't have a contract. Well, do you have 50 leads in your pipeline? If you don't, then it's normal that you don't have a contract. That's just like saying like you almost, you don't even know how to talk to people on the phone. Once you get good at talking to people on the phone, literally you can go down to like 35. Right? But when you first getting started, people get stuck. Now that when I first started, it was the information was already like really good. People are doing people like Max Maxwell, who was the one that I used to follow a lot.
Yeah.
They put a lot of YouTube content and dumb it down, so that helped me understand it. I go to a lot of meetups and stuff, but and then also the applications. But Max Maxwell and then when they started, those applications didn't even exist. And they were doing it like manually. They had to figure out with the Google Maps, take screenshots. But now I can just drive with a freaking GPS, pull up your information and know everything about your life. And I can either get your number for free or pay 10 cents and get your number and call you. That's the same way realtors get numbers and call for listings. Other than for sale by owner route is lazy, by the way. Anybody who started with for sale by owner, you lazy. That's the reason why you're doing for sale by owner.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't want to learn marketing. So wholesaling is a marketing business. It is not a sales business. So even if you're not good on the phone, it has nothing to do with being good on the phone. When I find and here's how you're gonna know that.
Yeah.
Here's how I got my first deal. Okay, my first wholesale deal.
Yeah, this is the good.
So I decided I'm gonna focus on wholesaling.
Yes.
Uber and Lyft give me the freedom. I can shut my app anytime I want. I'm not taking no 9 to 5. And I told my brothers, you know what? You guys don't have to believe me. I'll just go prove the concept. And think about this, right? When you study all the successful entrepreneurs, they all were jack of all trades until they found that one thing that just clicked, and then they got obsessed with it.
Yes.
So to me, it was the same thing. So when I grew up apart from my family at that refugee camp, raised myself, right? And this is another thing. I'm not deviating, but like when I came here, I'm like, I taught myself English in that refugee camp, literally back in 03. Back then, everybody didn't have a phone or access to a computer. I used to go to like this internet library, like where they give you access to a computer.
Dedication.
That's where I used to go and like learn English because I wanted to understand the music I'm listening to. So I started printing out like the lyrics, and then I'll translate 4 sentences a day in French, and then I'll read them in English, right? That's how I learned English, literally. So when I came here, I'm like, holy moly. I see some people my age with like the American accent and blah blah blah, and they're shy talking to people on the phone. I'm like, you're already 2 steps ahead of me.
Right.
Because when I call a seller with my accent,
They're already
sometimes they're a
probably-
little bit skeptical, but you with your little, bro, you know, like I have to work twice harder, but you still complaining.
That's crazy.
Anyway, that's beside the
No,
point.
it's true.
But
It's true.
so what I decided to do, I said, you know what? When I used to call my family, every single 2 years or 1 year and a half, if I'm talking to my brothers on the phone or my dad or whatever, I'm always telling them I just started a new job. Oh, you change again? You change again? Or like I drop out of school. I didn't graduate even. Did I graduate high school? I think I dropped out of high school. I don't even think I graduated high school. I'm not sure. But like in Belgium, they call it the 6th grade. But I think over here is different. The system is different,
It
right?
is, yeah.
So that's right before, because I was studying mechanical engineering. So I kind of got just like the high school degree. And then the one right after that, I'm like, I'm done with school because it wasn't working out. Now, not that I was very smart. I was always
But
top
it's
3.
not for everyone.
Yeah, but then I decided, you know what? I deserve the name Jack of all trades because every time these people talk to me, I have a new job or I'm starting a new venture. I have a car business. Now I'm trying to start renting wedding halls. It's like, so when I told them about the wholesaling real
You're
estate,
just like it's another one.
it's another one,
Yeah.
right? So they're like, okay, next time what? Next
Sounds
thing
like
you're gonna
me.
try to be astronaut, right?
Why not?
Why not? Yeah, but here's the deal though.
Yeah.
Here's why I'm saying that.
No, yeah.
Because sometimes we get caught up on we forget to take self-accountability.
It's true.
That's what I mean.
That I agree.
That's the only reason why I'm bringing that up, the story. Because my brothers, why would they believe me? I created that name for myself, number one. Number two, I'm the one who decided that I'm going to quit my job and get into real estate, right? Number three, they don't owe me anything. So if you say you're going to do this, then prove you're serious about it, right? So if you created that name, the reason I'm saying that is because I have a lot of newbies that reach out to me and they go, my family don't believe in me. I'm like, yeah, I don't believe in you neither. Like, have you done a deal? No? Okay, go prove the concept. Why would I believe in you? Nobody should believe in you, by the way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that sit, right?
The belief. Yeah.
Okay, so that's really important.
That's true.
So focus, take action, get your first deal, then people will believe you. Because today, my brother, 2 years later, he's one of my business partners and integrator on my team.
Love it.
Right? But they saw me obsessed with this thing. Like they saw something different
Yeah.
when I got in. They saw that I stopped partying. I'm always in the basement watching